hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
It is Tuesday. Hi, P. This is P over here.
M over there.
Patricia.
Mariah.
And together we are PM Artist Studio. Oh, you're a little out? Well, let me guess. The cat's been up here. I didn't notice that earlier. Or you're kind of turned a little different.
Oh, I am. There. I'm centering myself.
Okay. I swear, it seems like she takes over more and more space. Because my board keeps coming back this way.
I watched her the other day and I couldn't see her doing anything to your chair other than turning it around.
No, I was talking about you.
Oh.
Yeah, I was talking about you. Back mine a little. All right, let's do our hellos. And I know people want to know, you want to tell them about your eyeball and how you're feeling and all that.
Well, I'm a little achy. I mean, it's not like it's terribly,
She hasn't been whiny.
I haven't, well, it's not that uncomfortable. And I made it through the night without, any,
major things.
major thing. And I haven't had to take any pain medicine or anything other than what I'm actually putting in my eyeball.
Yes, and we're staying on top of that. They gave us a little chart.
Yeah.
Ticking off the boxes.
Yeah, and I will have to stop at the 30-minute mark and put in more refresher because we don't want the eyelid to get stuck to the artificial lens that's in there.
No, we do not want that.
Because that's not a good thing.
All right, let's do our hellos here.
All right.
Now, be sure to let us know that you are here in the chat. If you haven't said hello here in a little bit, then you may want to just say hi in the chat. That way it pops up in my little thing and I can say hi back to you. For those of you that are just coming in, do give your thumbsy upsies. That very much helps us. And we are very appreciative of all of that help that you guys do for us. So let's say hello to Anne, Heather, Brad, Christy, Colleen, Cookie Wookie, also known as Mo, Darcy, Deb C, Fiona, Fran on the Edge, Judy P, Kathy, Kelly, Cameron, Lexi, Linda, we got Linda Park, Linda Renz, Liz, Mary Ann, Nisi, Pandora's Box, which is also Dot, Penka, Serious Hecka, aka Lisa, Susan, Tishan Topsy, Violet, and I know some people popped in there. I think Joni, Fiona, Diane.
Oh,
all right,
mercy,
man.
we
I
got
know
the,
we got the crew.
Oh, the crew is here. Oh, that's great because I'm going to talk about community again.
We should always just talk about community.
I don't know if you get tired of hearing that, but one of the big reasons that I wanted to start Makers, because I'm the one that started it. Mariah facilitated it. God knows I didn't set all that up.
Well, she wanted a place to have.
I just said, I am so tired of trying to figure out what I can and can't do in those other places. And I just, I can't. So I've more or less just, I haven't like X'd out of them or anything,
She bips in here and there.
Yeah, if there's something really interesting that comes up on my page.
She's a lurker on those other groups.
Yeah, because most of the time it's just not all that riveting and fascinating enough to keep me there for any length of time.
Well, and what you mean by that is that usually if you engage with somebody over there, there's not a lot of combo that typically happens.
No, yeah. there isn't. There's not any feedback from the person that you're giving feedback to, for the most part. Now, that's not entirely true. Yeah. Because
all of you that we brought over
here, that's kind of how we
found
we scalped you from the other team.
No, it's
that's what it's called when you go and steal somebody from another team.
I think that's like tickets. You do ticket scalping.
Oh yeah, maybe that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's something related to sports anyway. That's about as much as I know about that. But I know a lot about art, and a lot of what I know I've forgotten. I was digging around in my bookcase because I knew I had a book called Picasso and Matisse, and I looked at the front of it and I purchased it at the Kimball Art Museum, which is in Fort Worth.
Oh, you're very welcome, and hello, Sandra. I hooked Sandra up with some info on the now I told you, I kind of lied to you, not on purpose. I thought that we had gotten some of that sulfite drawing paper, but we didn't. We got a bunch of other ones.
We had
because
it in
we already have it in the Blick stuff, so we do know about it.
Yes. And we have ordered, and I don't know what's its due date.
Soon.
The papers.
I don't know. It has shipped. I did get a notification. It has shipped.
Okay, well, depending, you know, if it's Timbuktu or Waterloo, we'll get it soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yesterday, I'm right. I took my little notebook with me to the doctor's office, and we got there a little early because we went the back way, the scenic route, rather than the other one with all the highways and getting off and stressing me totally out, and my blood pressure's like going through the ceiling. So we went the more scenic route, and it was much nicer. It took longer.
But not that much longer.
But
really.
not that much longer, and we got there early, so they have this nice little table with chairs around. I mean, this place is like...
She's doing some thoughts on Tuesday.
Yeah. I'm doing thoughts on Tuesday. Because I just had that little bit of time, and I told Mariah, I said, you know, this is the last thing I wrote before I had my eyeball scraped. And I couldn't read it at all yesterday. Yesterday was kind of a really achy, hurty day.
And it's so funny. Izzy's like, this morning, she said, here, Gigi, can you read this? She's checking her.
Can you see this, Gigi? And she holds her hand in front of my face. And I'm like, yes, I can see that, Isabella.
Yeah.
I'm really, it's not that far gone. She says, well, you know, that's what happens when you get old, Gigi. And I'm like, well, there are other things to happen too. And if you're lucky, you'll make it there.
Yeah, exactly.
And the way you're going right now, it's questionable. Okay, the reason I picked Picasso to talk about today is simply because as an artist, he was probably more prolific than any other artist in history. And also he was recognized as a force while he was still alive. Most of them have to die in order to do that.
Yes.
And I just, you know, you think about, well, what made him different? Why was he able to do what he did? And part of it is ego. The man had an ego that was just incredible. He also had wonderful women to do all the mundane and, you know, things that if you had to do those, it would certainly cut into your art time things.
Yes.
And he had some good ones, some very good ones. Not only were they supportive of his art, but they were readily available for modeling. You know, even if, and I mean, you know, after the first one of some of those, I would have said, look, dude, if I can't look any better than that, you're going to have to find somebody else. I'm not interested in doing that again.
I guess that's where ego comes in, too, that you've convinced those women that...
I don't know. He had a complicated relationship with his mother. What can I say?
His Facebook page would say, it's complicated.
It's complicated. It's very complicated. But I wanted to talk about that for just a minute and really identify those things that he did that really perpetuated his whole, this myth of this. I mean, really, he's almost like an unreal person because he was so huge and big in this whole world of things. But I have a whole thing. I did research because this was one of my, when I took a class called Art and Ideas, we had to create a folder of a famous artist. I want you to look at this.
Look at her folder.
Look at my folder.
I said, wow, who is this person that created this? She said, I had a lot more time then.
Yes, I did.
Before the internet.
I had a lot.
On-demand access to movies and such.
Well, I mean, most of this I got off of the internet and just, I mean, I've even got maps in here, folks. So if there's anything you want to know about Picasso, I can probably hook you up. Now, there is a video, and I could not find it. Are we topside?
I can be.
That would probably be good.
Okay.
Because then I won't have to.
There we go.
Yeah. Matisse and Picasso. And why is that important? Because no artist exists in a vacuum. there's always a community. There's always influences. And I think that's one of the things that Picasso, he wasn't afraid to steal ideas from anybody. He felt he was entitled. That's kind of how I feel.
Like it was a compliment.
Yeah, y'all should be really happy that I'm,
that
I'm making mine look kind of like yours. This is not exactly, but
Yeah.
Matisse and Picasso had a very, I don't know how to say it. It was a symbiotic relationship in that they needed one another to react off of each other.
A children's version of it is Picasso and Matisse, which is very good, by the way, the book.
Oh,
Remember we got it?
Yeah.
Well, Ingrid gave it to Izzy.
yeah. I don't know that we've read it to her. Well, she's really.
I,
Have you? Oh.
Yes, a lot.
Oh, it's one of the ones she likes?
Yeah, there for a while. She kind of goes, it's like movies, you know.
Oh, and
she
I
goes
have
through
another
phases.
book of Matisse that I have not read to her. I found it the other day when I was
Well,
looking
very
for
nice.
things.
You need to hook her up with that.
I do need to hook her up with that. It's about his, because she's really starting to like to cut. And you know, when Matisse was at that stage of his life where he was bedridden because he had, I don't know, some really bad disease, and he couldn't, it was painful for him to get out of bed. He cut things. He would sit himself up in bed and do his cutting and have somebody fetch his, whatever.
We all need a fetcher.
Yeah, he had fetchers.
Again, it takes a community.
It does.
Hey, Barbara.
Absolutely takes a community. All right, so
Danielle?
I'm going to read you this really wonderful thing that I composed yesterday at the eye doctor's. Okay, Picasso.
Hey, Benny.
Incredibly prolific. Why? He didn't limit himself to just one style, medium, or 2D or 3D, and not everything he did or produced was of museum quality. He was not afraid to do the experimental research necessary to get the process, the idea into fruition. He made connections using cultural references from those outside his experience. Les Demoiselles d'Avignon was inspired by an exhibition of African masks. And I wrote down and I did find the book. But remember last week we talked about Sagita Mitra, and she said to recharge your curiosity. And I think he did that because if he was bored painting, he got out some clay and made a plate and painted his dog on it. A little dachshund. Mm-hmm. He had painted that. I can't remember what his name was. It was a really cute name. And then Joseph Granny, also the man that did the article in...
Yeah, these are the two. Now, Sagita Mitra, I think she was mentioned in that article, but it wasn't written by her.
It wasn't written by her, but it was her process.
Right,
and
so
her...
those were the two articles that we posted in Makers.
But Joseph Granny was in the Harvard...
Yes.
Whatever, business review. And he said creativity is connecting things. And do things that don't necessarily interest you. Well, I'm not sure that Picasso did that, because I think if it wasn't something he wanted to do, he certainly didn't do it.
I know somebody else that's kind of like that.
Yeah. But I think that goes with the whole idea that if I'm just doing the same thing I was doing 2 years ago, and I'm doing it in the same way, you gotta step back and say, whoa, ho, maybe it's time for a little change.
Well, or some people might just be into that rhythm, but I think for a lot of us, kind of that new, and I think a lot of times the inspiration comes from a new product or whatever.
Well, that certainly can't do it. It does for me a lot of times, and making that
Picasso's dog's name was Lump.
I knew it was some funny little, but he was a very famous little dog. He has lots of portraits. Anyway, I think one of the reasons that I like changing up and doing something different, like doing the heads, doing the three-dimensional. I'm not a three-dimensional artist by choice.
Oh, hey.
Oh, here it is. When Picasso meets Matisse.
It's a great book.
Oh, thanks, Brad. I mean, isn't that wonderful? because it goes through all of the different styles that
Yes.
they used and everything, and Izzy certainly is. Yeah, she's very much into. It was a modern art mess, but hey, it's a cute book, and even if you are an adult, I think you would enjoy it.
Yeah, it's not
because
painful to read.
It's not painful to read, and it gets you, note up to a certain degree. If you want to know more, you can do more research. Okay, so, and I wanted to talk just very quickly about the reason it's a good idea to go to the art museum. I'm going to show you two prints of the same thing, and you can see the quality, the difference.
Yeah.
You need to go to the art museum and look at them because they're different. Number one, you cannot. This is an 8-foot by 7-foot painting. That's huge.
Yeah.
And here you just get the idea. It's just this is a really cute little thing here. Now the Mona Lisa is exactly the opposite. She's this little bitty tiny thing. And when you see her in books, a lot of times they're seeing she's
see her
big.
Bigger than she actually is.
Bigger than she actually is. But do keep that in mind when you're looking at prints. All right, enough of that. Now let's get to what we're really going to do today. Somewhat, I'm going to talk about.
We haven't named her yet.
And I'm leaning towards Silva Ventana. It's mostly green. Forest. The whole idea
Jungle.
of the upper jungle, the canopy of the forest. This is more the ground, the rocks, the pebbles, the water. And I'm just really, thinking something earthy.
Yes.
Some name that that indicates that grounding and things that come up. I think she's looking quite spectacular. I'm loving the little tubers.
Oh, that's sweet, Judy. Judy got you a copy of Van Gogh's ear. It's a really good. She got a copy for you too. Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh, well, thank you. I love those, and I love reading that kind of stuff to Izzy because I think that, I don't know. Well, whatever her name is, her nose got bonked again as I was, doing the bottom part here. I just
put
gave
her in
up.
the beans well enough.
I was gonna, do a silicone injection, but I just thought, the statues that we see from antiquity, always the parts are noses.
We mentioned that.
So I think it's okay that her nose is like that, and I'm just going to leave it like that. And I think by the time I get through putting stuff on there, it's going to be negligible as to.
Yeah.
Okay, so time my eye's getting really scratchy.
It's 3:18. Well, then put some stuff in it.
Okay.
And I'll talk.
You can talk.
I decided, because I've noticed some people, I think it might have been, well, I don't know if she wants me mentioned or not. But anyway, some people are starting to enter their things into fair, like the county fair or the, fairs. Well, the big thing here in Texas is the Texas State Fair that we have here in Dallas. So I have secured 2 entries, one for P and one for myself, and she thinks she may enter one of the heads. So we're kind of excited about that.
Well, I told Mariah, I said, now I have to wait for 60 seconds for this eye to assimilate this, so I'm going to give you, the old
She's not
winker.
giving you the stink eye, she's giving you the winky eye.
I'm giving the winky eye. Because the doctor said yesterday, he said, now, he says, don't sit there and blink, because when you blink, all it does, it's kind of like a pump. It just shoots the stuff right down, into your nose or your throat.
Great.
Okay. I checked it out, and he was right. Maybe cough.
That's so great that you're, fact checking the.
Well, you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
True that.
Okay, well, when 60 seconds is up, somebody can tell me, and then I can open up my eye, because I really, this is the eye that they wanted to put the viscous membrane over. But when he explained to me what was going to happen, I was like, that's not going to work for me. I got to do a video tomorrow. I can't have filming over this and this eye over here with the swoopy down thing. I mean, I can.
Oh, so you want to come back and have them possibly do that later?
Well, we may do that on the second one.
Okay.
Because then, by then, this eye will be all, good
Right.
to go, and I can do it, I think. Because this is like my good eye anyway.
This is the good eye.
This is the good eye.
Why did they start in the good one? I think you should start in the bad one. If things go bad, it's only in the bad one.
Well, I really think that they're a little concerned about the level of scar tissue on this one and what exactly they can do. But I'm sort of like Legally Blind in one eye.
Yes. The
Yeah.
one with the swoopy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I get my glasses back on because I'm not at the point here where. But when it starts feeling scratchy and whatnot, he says you need to get something in there because you don't want to wrinkle up your contact lens because we'll have to start over
Hey,
again.
Constance.
All right, now what I want to talk about is some options here. You can see where I've allowed
I like that.
that color to show through. Well, in the
'Cause you know what it's like? Because I was trying to think about this because I was looking at it earlier and I was like, I was really happy that you had left that and hoping that
It
you did it on
wasn't-
purpose. It wasn't, where you were like, oh God,
because-
I just messed up. Covering that up today.
some of it I have covered up, but I love this right here.
But it's like, whenever you're next to a waterfall or anything like that, and then you get the rainbow.
Oh yeah, the misty part.
Yeah. Or you're walking through the forest and it's maybe after rain and you get
Or
the
it's
dew.
like Leonard Cohen says.
Yes, you gotta let the light through. The cracks.
Yeah, there are cracks in everything. That's how the light gets through. And I think that, especially in the areas where it's kind of, I don't know, I may knock those down a little bit. And the other thing, I wanted to address here is that I'm going to hand Mariah, in fact, you already have, I gave you some papers that I want her to go ahead and do a turquoisey color spray on them so that I can put that in like this area right here where it is turquoise, but if I overlay that and have it come up here, I will have this part and this part, and that will show through.
Yeah.
That bright turquoise there. And that's really kind of what I want to do. And some places where there's some weird blue, I might take those out. I don't know.
They may not be weird if it repeats enough, though.
Well, it really doesn't. I swear to God, that's something. Now there's a little bit over here.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, maybe a little bit here, here and there. But here's one of my favorite spots in the whole thing. It's right here on the back of her head. As I love the way this tuber fit in here.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think that's really...
And whoever suggested that you make sure that your tubers start running long, should keep that person around.
Well, these other places here, a lot of those are from the stencil, wires.
The rainbow part looks like oil over water in the sunshine.
Oh, yeah. And remember we talked about scale, and that's becoming an important aspect because I've got the little dudes and then I've got the big ones. And I've used both and will continue to use both. And I don't know what, I've been using up a lot of my smaller scale, which, I may need to make some more. I'm going to try to make it with what I have here instead of, creating more because I think I've got enough that I can do that. It just
Judy says Stormy would be a good name, or maybe we could go with because we like to use if we could find in a different language what like storm or like a woodland a storm in the woods or something like that would be.
Well, and I even thought of giving because I love Dr. Clarissa Pinkola Estes, her writing and her whole mythology, and I like that. And she's very much into grounding and the earth. So we could even call her Clarissa. I just don't
really
know
like
if she looks like a Clarissa.
No. And unless you truly knew that, then you might, discount that.
Yes. And you might think that it was just... And I don't want anything on here to be cute. I
Yeah.
want it all to be very au natural. Even if some of the little red spots and whatnot are showing through.
Yes.
And those are kind of...
Lisa Mingus says it looks like a... Is it trigminal? Trigeminal. Root.
I don't know what that is.
We don't know what that is.
But I need to know.
Yeah.
I need to know.
And then Lexi says you may even consider bringing on the tuber expert full time. They're doing great work.
The tuber expert?
I don't know. I feel like maybe I missed something on that one. But yeah, I mean, who's the tuber expert?
And I just, it's so...
Ruthie. Oh, that's cute. Well, that's kind of cute, but
What?
Ruthie, like root, but
Oh, Ruthie.
ROOTH. Ruthie. I think it's funny and I like it, so.
I don't know. I will consider that. It might be just a little bit too cutesy. But anyway, okay. So I wanted to talk
Maybe something
about...
like that, and that could be like her nickname. Yeah. AKA.
AKA. All right. So this is the front part here. And remember I started using this
Oh.
and then I covered it up. What?
Okay, so and it's TASR, Taser. I don't know if it's Taser, but that's their handle name. Anyway, Gaia, GAIA, goddess of nature and earth.
G-U.
Well, it's pronounced GUYAH, but it's
Gaia.
Gaia.
G-A-I-A.
Gaia.
Gaia.
It's Gaia. Sorry, we worked through
Gaia.
that. Yeah. Oh, didn't they do something like
Yes.
that with
Yes.
Wasn't it the Sookie Stackhouse True Blood? Oh, I love it.
Yes. Well, I know
read all
about...
those books too.
Yes. She could be a Gaia.
Like that.
I do like that until... Yeah. It may be coupled with something else just for...
Oh, yes.
Original
My
reference.
friends were yelling at me. How much of that rich color will you keep? Like what?
Nothing. There will just
of
be...
the bright. Yeah, no, they're only going to peek through.
Just peeks through. It's just a background color because even the areas, like you can see here, the tissue paper is transparent enough that some of that is showing through. Even though you don't see a lot of it, it wouldn't be the same if it weren't there. It is adding a richness to the surface. And this is why I say, before you start putting your important parts down, and even when I started doing this, I did it with the knowledge that I could always go over it. And it's going to go, I'm not going to use that.
Yeah.
That paper. But it's not hurting anything because I can just go over the top of it with the other papers that I prepared
Amazing.
with the modeling paste. So nothing is necessarily, oh, that's certainly lifting up there.
Got a little.
That is what's really, you have to really watch this stuff. It's hard to get down because those areas where you have the heavy modeling paste, they don't want to stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told her you need to keep the art glitter glue with you along it and kind
And probably that is a good idea. And just go in and
of get underneath them and press them down. I had to do that with Dicta. Yeah.
now the other thing, the other option that I am
Hello, Kathy. Welcome.
really thinking about here is, remember the textured gesso? you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
The Montmartre. This stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Clear texture gesso. Because if I use this, I think it's going to have more of the surface treatment that I'm looking for more of a dry. Ooh, Mariah's making ugly faces.
Yeah.
Oh, and if I don't like that, then I can come back and I can hit it with another coat of, say, the sealer, which is shiny.
Lisa, I mentioned
But
that.
this would allow me to use the colored pencils to come in and
I feel like
add.
if that's the route that you want to go, then you should kind of just do it in spots. Because I think it will be very interesting having both kind of more subdued matte spots with the texture. But don't totally, don't do the whole thing that way and obliterate
Well,
some
I
of that
think
cool shiny bit.
I think that's a legitimate point, and I think probably I wouldn't. I would just do the areas, say that, like this line right here bothers me because I think it's kind of artificially straight.
Well, and it's a little, it is straight, but it's also kind of blurry compared to the next one, because then it's like, okay, well, it doesn't have any definition or hasn't.
It doesn't, and I haven't really tried to do anything with pencil without even doing the, but
You're getting a little bit, not a whole.
A little bit. And the whole thing about it is I don't mind that it's not a lot. I just feel like there are some places that need a little bit more of the definition. And see, I've got the texture paste is there. It's just covered up with that one little strip of something, which I thought was a good idea at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But now see, look, that is already looking. But can you see the paper there? That's already looking much better.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to make that just a little bit less obvious, I can take the opposite color and come in here in certain places and really re-emphasize the fact that this is not a straight line. Now look, that really made a big difference with just a few little strokes of the pencil.
Yeah, and if it isn't getting you where you need to go, then just come in, do a treat the area with the texture stuff, and then come back.
Because see, I can bring a little bit of the turquoise over. See what happened there? I think that maybe is about all it needs.
Oh, okay. So Kathy, sorry, yeah. I mean, she's kind of coming in. She's like, is that wood or? So this is one of the foam heads that has been mounted to a. What was that?
I think it's either nuts or it's either nuts or almonds.
Something from Costco. It was Kirkland brand.
Yeah, it could have been chocolate.
We then stuff bricks or something heavy, rocks. Don't use your good rocks. Just use the crummy rocks.
Yeah.
And wrap those in paper of some sort. Then closed up the container. Covered that with masking tape. Make sure you got a nice little pebbly, smoothie rock to go with that. Use good masking tape. Don't use the cheap stuff. Make sure all of that is secured down. You then put a coat of napkin over everything.
Yeah,
correct?
Can I just talk about that for just a sec? If I had used the craft paper on the nose, it would have been hard.
Yes.
As is, this is a little bit, can you see that? It's spongy. Because the kitchen towels, paper towels, they don't set up hard like the paper does.
So yeah, that's a good
that is
little tip there.
Yeah, it could save. I mean, I don't know that that's something that you're gonna really.
And one of the things is just that you don't necessarily have to do the full-on coverage with either, the paper towels or craft paper or whatever, but it does allow you to create a common surface over the entire thing. If that isn't a big deal to you, then no big deal. One of the other things you can do is just cover it in gesso, because you need something for whatever the next layer is to attach to.
Yes, because the styrofoam itself is really difficult to get things to stick to.
Well, I don't know that that's really true, but I will tell you one of the things that does happen with the styrofoam, because Deetha, all I did with her was put a layer of gesso on her. So the foam pattern, you can still see, sort of. So if that's something that is going to interfere with your idea or concept or, you know, your end result, then you will want to, again, like I said, make sure that you cover it all the same, or, you know, however it is. You know, you could create your texture at that level too.
Certainly could. And I did do some of that.
Yeah.
I came back through and
She didn't hold
went
it
over
all.
it with the, I don't know, whatever that stuff is back over here. It's not modeling paste. It's in between modeling paste and it's kind of a slimy stuff. And you can see some places
Is that what it says on the jar? Slimy stuff.
slimy stuff. I mean, it's really gloppy and
Yeah.
it's not particularly fun to work with. But
Was that the cheap stuff?
yes, the cheap stuff.
Okay.
I didn't feel bad about, you know, using lots of it.
Right.
It's also what I used to glue down the stuff behind the eye. That's the same stuff that
Okay.
I adhered all of the little pieces of Yupo to.
Yes.
And you could do something like that on this. You're just going to have to focus on areas because if you turn it over, it's all going to fall off.
We're getting some great questions here. So Kathy wants to know, how did we colorize the texture paste? Spray or paint or the sheet of tissue? Okay, so keep in mind that whenever P first did the texture paste through the stencils, it was directly, like it was all, you know, white texture paste onto white tissue paper. She then did some spraying.
Yeah, that's mostly this beige tanny stuff is mine.
Because that's what she gets when
Yeah.
she sprays. She then had me come in and do some, which you could then get the more colorful ones with some other bands
turquoises and
Which
kind of
were-
oranges and
all done with spray. Something to keep in mind, depending on the types of sprays and how much you put on and kind of the process of it,
let me just get those.
they don't always
Yeah,
take in the texture paste areas.
they don't.
But
Typically.
that's kind of cool. If you go heavy, spray heavy, and just let it set, it will. If you're kind of using that sponge technique, it will lift up a lot of the color off of that texture paste.
Yeah, and remember I went in with the natural sponge and the
And did more, yeah.
micaceous iron oxide to get some of those little gray, and I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I really love that. And I could actually do some more of that. I could actually do that right on here.
Oh yeah, and markers would be great, especially I think if you had some really, some of the alcohol ink markers would probably work well. Acrylic ink or
No.
acrylic markers would work
Oh
well.
yeah, they will, but you also need to be careful because even this spray, I noticed a lot of times it's migrating. It's going into something else when I go over
Yes,
it with the
it
Mod Podge.
reactivates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, I didn't mind that so much. But it's just if it bothers you, yeah, don't do that. But I think this one's really nice with the micaceous earth. Now the other thing that I may do is take the black diamond
Oh yeah.
texture paste, or what is it called?
The glitter paint.
Glitter paste.
Glitter
God,
paint.
I can't.
I've always said that it was glitter paste, but then it is. It's actually glitter paint.
Paste.
I think it's paint.
I wrote this down off of the thing, Mariah, damn it. Just listen to me. It's Zinc Black Coffee Diamond Glitter Paste by Aladdin.
Yes, you could do a fixative on it. Yes, the Krylon or whatever.
Yeah.
But I would say that, you know, make sure you do that if you're very sure that that's the color and things that you want to keep.
Yeah.
We don't really mind.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. That I definitely. I look at it for a couple of weeks before I seal it.
Now-
And that's a good idea too, because you want to let that make sure that that's dry. Because if you don't, you get a film
Yeah.
because it mushes through.
Now, I did spray the, which one? Accordion to Me book with that Krylon because we had used the Brushos. And Brushos, it just keeps giving, like, in ways that, like, it makes you crazy. Like, you can barely handle, my hands were getting painted up every time I handled the darn thing.
Yeah.
So, I did end up spraying it with that Krylon, and then we left it in a pot. Because I actually left it outside for 2
because
days.
it smelled terrible.
Oh, I hate that stuff. And then
really
I put it in a
terrible.
pot with baking powder or baking soda.
Yeah, I know. I when I used that pot, I can't remember what I was making, but I was like, "What? Why did we do that?"
Yeah.
But yeah,
It was stinky.
it didn't smell good.
Maybe that's the one I should take to the fair. But then we'd have to leave my little stand because you need the whole thing.
Yeah. I don't know what their display situation is.
Maybe I take a couple of different ones and we, maybe
Make
talk
the
to
decision when we
people.
get there. For sure. For sure.
Yeah. Probably time for you to
Put another.
do your eyeball, I think. I don't know.
It feels scratchy. It's getting scratchy.
Yeah, and then here's one of the other ways that if you do want to use the texture paste and you have a particular color in mind, you can pre-color it by using, one of the great things about the fluid acrylics is that if you put a couple little dabs of that in the texture paste prior to doing the texture business, it will color. And then you kind of have a...
Yeah, I have jars of that.
Oh, yeah. That's what the little
Watch.
Play-Doh jars are great for.
Yeah, Play-Doh. Play-Doh jars. Yeah. They really are.
Oh, here. Fran says, my ice ink diamond is all glitter paint, including the coffee and the black coffee. She's just saying.
Well, I threw away the package, so.
Yeah.
It's more pasty to me. It doesn't qualify as paint.
Agreed. I do agree with that. That it is more pasty than painty.
I mean, come on now, folks. Look at that. This is like the Dairy Queen.
You got
What do you call that?
When you get a blizzard.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be doing that today. It's hot.
Yeah, and dip cones are definitely
No.
a nay. All right, now, let me see. What else was I going to talk about here? I did the colored pencils. I talked about... Oh, Mariah's going to do some spraying. And while she's spraying, I'm going to put some of the little tubers down in the front here.
Show you
Because
hats. Yeah.
I've thought long and hard, about what needs to happen in the front.
Okay, Brenda. Oh, and Fran does agree. It does feel more like paste.
Move all this.
Do you need me to help you or?
No, I think
Okay.
I'm good. I am kind of one eyeballing it here. So.
All right. Well, while you're kind of one eyeballing it, I'll do a little spiel while you're setting up there.
Okay.
For those of you that are coming in, we very much appreciate you hanging out with us. Please do give those thumbsy upsies as Mo has there in the chat. Say hello to us so we can say hello back, and we know that you're here and you're not just a number. If you are new to the channel, please do subscribe and do all that YouTube-y business like, ringing the bell and this, that, and the other. We very much appreciate it. If you are not a member of our Facebook group, you really should be, because many of these lovely, lovely folks that are here in the chat are members over there. That is the Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists Facebook group. Please do answer the questions, otherwise you will not get in. I have it auto set now just to,
Yeah.
I don't even see anymore. Have it on auto. If you don't answer questions, I don't know that you were there. It's nothing personal.
Yeah. Get rid of your straight line and throw that piece away. Don't leave that on there because it'll be ugly.
Yes.
Okay,
Hello, Norma.
surely it's been 60 seconds.
Hey, we've been to Steamboat. I bet it's hot there today.
Where is it?
Steamboat. Steamboat's always hot.
The place doesn't get air. Is what
Yeah, 'cause it's like locked in.
It's just, okay, now what I'm going to do here
And hey, Glenda.
is I'm putting down a little bit of background color here so that it's not going to matter terribly much if I don't cover the whole thing.
Now, I'm going to go ahead, so you guys, you know, be nice in the chat and be good and all of that business. I'm going to spray some of these. Do you want them all just to be the teal color? Because that's what you need to cover with, right?
Yeah, but give me a little
variety.
Give me, yeah. If you can, shoot some of that black spray stuff.
Yeah, the licorice is tricky business.
Yeah, no, it either goes in big blobs or...
Yeah. And it doesn't, it's the, one of the things about the dye sprays, the icing dye sprays, is that they are very pigmented and there's not a lot of moving around. Like, you know, where color hits, it's going to kind of stay.
More or less.
More or
That's
less.
where it stays.
Did we mention more or less?
More or less. The other thing that I really like about, you know, when you put down tile in your house, they always do that sort of textured background stuff. That's what this, now I have to make a decision. Do I want that side or this side?
That. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had more interesting stuff happening there.
And make sure your brush that you're using is stiff enough. Oh, and see, I left a... You can always tear it off later, but you know. The other thing is you want to keep moving around, because what happens is you can't really tell what's happening with this gloppy Mod Podge stuff until it dries clear, because it's covering up a lot of things that you maybe or may not, you know, want to cover up.
Oh yes, that's yeah. So Kathy sprays on her craft mat, then uses brush. Yes, a lot of times I use the little we have a porcelain palette type thing that really works well, especially for that kind. Or a lot of times I just spray directly into the sponge, and then that way I can move it about sort of where I want it, versus just going with the full-on spray and hoping things happen.
Now, is this? Can everybody see me doing this?
I think
Am
so.
I
Or do
in
you
a
want me
good
to zoom
spot?
in? I can zoom.
Well, if you just kind of, I'll try to keep moving so that I'm
Centered up there? Okay. and
Yes.
I'll zoom in. Very good. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to do a little focus.
Okay. Now you can start to see that, you know, that's creating this movement here that I really want, because I want this front part naturally. I mean, you know, this is the face part. It is 3D, so we would like for it to look good all the way around, not just one spot.
She's got a good side and a bad side.
She do.
Just focus in right here.
Yeah. Okay, now did you see what I did there? This is where you just have to kind of, you know, get in there with your fingernail, the edge of the brush, and you just need to beat that thing in there, because it doesn't want to go. But you got to get mean.
Oh, I love it.
A little bit mean.
A little bit mean. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Do you have the black? Because I am not finding it. And
No.
I feel like...
But I might have moved it.
Okay.
There is always that possibility.
Yes. Aha.
Because I did use it.
Okay.
All right, now where's another one of my little jobbers here?
Oh, Francis, she just comes back and pokes it some more.
Does what?
Just extra poke, you know, like.
Oh yeah, yeah. To get it to shape up and go where it's supposed to go.
And Darcy said she's not going to hashtag that, beat that thing in there. Oh, that reminds me, Mo did a most wonderful post over in Makers explaining, you know, hashtags, their use, and like how we use them. I don't know that we full on use them properly, but we definitely have a way about using them that's very PM centric.
Is this still in the frame?
You're good.
Okay. Holler at me if it's not.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna be spraying.
I want to be careful with this area here because I'm just loving it. I like this little, you know, little pathway of kind of burnt, crusty orange here.
Burnt crusty orange.
Burnt crusty orange.
That sounds appetizing.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just tearing off a little bit that was squared off there because I don't have to deal with it later on.
Yeah, Brad was saying that I think YouTube is having some kind of weirdnesses today. So
Sunspots?
yeah. Yes, sunspots.
Chinese, you know, cyber attack.
Something.
But now you can see what I'm talking about when I say, you know, it's just this kind of mushy and mucky and you don't really know what you've got there until it dries up a bit. And now I'm starting to see down here where, you know, I've got some good stuff going on and I'm liking that. But this, I think, just kind of helps work it into those little areas where it might possibly lift up. I really do. I love that. I'm not gonna muss about with that. Okay, moving along. Now this is where I'm taking those the wire, the smaller wire, and coming in and putting it over the top of sort of what's there and trying to kind of line it up maybe a little bit, you know, with something that's already there. But I'm really not terribly concerned about making it completely cover everything. Right? Yeah.
Yes.
No, I don't like that. I don't like that squared off thing right there, so I'm just going to take care of that right now.
Yes,
Well,
best to take care of it when you see it, because then what'll happen is you'll forget where it's at, and then all of a sudden you're going to see it, and it's going to be a little bit harder to deal with.
That is the truth.
Or
There
it'll
we
be
go.
the thing like right there in the
See?
middle of her nose.
I mean, look at that. That's so much better.
Okay, what do you want me to? I mean, how do you want me to go about? doing
Oh,
this?
oh, that's looking wonderful. Oh.
Well,
yes.
I mean, I can pass over and let you show it, but
Now
I don't know how well that will go. I can go around the other side.
Oh, you need me to get my stuff out of the way for a sec here so we can see the tissue.
Yeah, and I don't know if you have a clean
Oh,
board
well,
you want
just
to
a minute,
set
just-
it on.
Okay, I'm going to rip this off here. And do I have a clean board?
The reason a clean board was requested is that what will happen is because this is wet, it will.
It's going to, yeah. I don't really need it to be clean. It can be a little bit grungy.
It acquires the things down below it. This is a good board though now. Like, it's looking pretty.
Yeah. We're going to set her up there a moment.
Ace.
Well, and then I can really look and see what's going on there. You should do that every now and then. Change the position and you know, look at it from a different angle.
Now, this is not 100% because, again, the board is dirty, so you're seeing the stuff underneath it.
Which, that would be really super fantastic if some of that comes through. I would be excited about that.
Well, there. Hey, Mitzi. So glad you're here. Oh, she's trying to get it to come up.
I don't know. It may be more.
Yeah, I mean, if it was a bit more saturated, perhaps. I tried not to go too crazy and let more of it just kind of spread out.
Oops, sorry.
Versus getting it really softened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know.
But here, look, this is even another.
Oh, see, it is kind of coming through, right? Somewhat.
All right, here. Like, so one of the things that I'm doing over here on the side, and I'm sorry that we don't have the top cam for, you know, my side. One of these days. Hello, Ludmilla. Freezer paper. I even covered the kitchen, like the cutting board. That's what I use instead of a mat. I used to have a mat, and then Pete took off with it, and I don't know. Anyway, I like my cutting board because it has a nice weight to it. And you can stick things underneath it to help flatten it out. But I cover it with the freezer paper. Freezer paper is wonderful to spray on because it's kind of like using a glass mat. So here you go, see? Here, you can just plop that on top of the other one and pick up some of that if you wanted. And that's how she's putting on the, because she doesn't have her sponge.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's just in the bathroom, but I washed it up. But this works just fine. And the thing about it is you know, we have water, we have spray. Water.
Oh, I need the new. Yeah, I do have water go somewhere here.
Kind of, because remember, this is acrylic. If you get to it before it's dry, then you can do some
moving about.
Now, I'll tell you who's the grand master at this is Patty. Oh, some of the stuff that she gets, I'm going, how the hell did she do that? Because when I do it, it didn't happen like that.
Yeah.
Not at all. That girl's got some serious...
Yeah, painty paper.
Paper. Hey, now look at that. That's looking... That is looking really...
Now, if you hand it back to me, I'll start putting more spray on it.
Maybe some of that peachy stuff.
Oh, terracotta?
Yeah.
We have some.
She's being such
Here, I'm going to show you guys, because I know I've been just chuckling about it, but...
It seems to be the color that I mix up.
It's really good at it.
I'm really, you know, it just...
I'm very proud of it each and every time.
Yeah. Look, Mariah, I made some terracotta.
Oh, fantastic.
We don't have any of that.
Another one of those. Oh, it's different.
It's a little different.
Okay, there's two of them.
Okay.
Oh, there's a third one.
And the other nice thing about this is it dries rapidly. Whereas a lot of times the tissue paper, you know, not so much.
Yeah,
now this is deli, so I don't know that it's going to do anything spectacular. I don't really like it because it's more opaque. You get less, but you know, it might come in handy for something else. Who knows?
Who knows? Okay, so now you can see it's settled on some of these. So the bottom. Now this really wasn't the terracotta, but she kind of headed in this direction. It was all in the sort of same. I'm getting them shaken up, but like here were the three that were kind of, you know, in the more peachy, yellowy tones.
I'm going to put this down because I think maybe
and
this
then here are more the rosy.
Faster. The air conditioner's fighting me.
So these were all mixed from Susan Taylor Brown had sent us her empty bottle, but they had little, just, you know, little bits of it down in the bottom. So we just started adding water and kind of, you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and back and forth, and then here, oh, okay, now we have a full bottle. Move that one along.
Check that out.
Yeah. Which was quite fun, but there just ended up a lot of terracotta.
Izzy loves peeling this paint off. I'll keep that one for her to peel. She's a picker.
She is a picker.
She's a picker. All right. All right, now let's lay her back down here. Okay, see, it's already starting to set up, and that might be a little bit too bright, but I don't know that for sure. I'm going to hand you back that spray, Mariah, because you might actually need it.
Okay, I'm going to try to use this.
I just have a little jar of water over here when I'm not using, or every now and then I'll just rinse my, oh, it's got a floaty in there. Brush out and kind of dab it off on a cloth over here when it gets kind of gummy. You know how, and I kind of have a little bit of a I don't know what you would call it, film over the top of my Mod Podge over here because I'm leaving the lid open. But, you know, oh well. It's still, you know, still quite functional.
Quite functional.
Quite functional. Okay, now, on this little jobber here, the neck, it has a bit more turquoise at the top. And you saw how I had to really push on that. But you also have to be careful because those things are kind of scratchy.
The micaceous. Is that what you're talking about? Or
The edges of the...
Oh, of the texture pasted areas.
Yes.
Here, look at this on the board.
Oh, wow. Well, that's almost too good to...
Oh, well, it won't look like that once you pick it up.
Oh,
I don't think.
well, poopy doopy.
It might. Oh,
Okay.
I don't know.
And now, what?
Do you want this now?
I think it's good. I don't think you need to do anything else to it. I like it a lot.
Okay. Well, I need it.
Okay, now see, I couldn't even see those until I turned it, so I kind of got a profile view and could see the places that were sticking up.
Hey, Misty.
Yeah, you need to take care of that.
He's doing good. You probably need to put in more eye drops here in about, 10 minutes.
All right. It's feeling pretty good right now. Yeah. Okay, I'm lighting that. Maybe tear off a little bit down here on the end because I don't think I want it to go up quite that much. I don't know why I did that squared off thing. That was a dumb rookie move. Rookie move.
And hey, Debbie. I don't know if I said hello or not.
Okay. I don't want to cover up all of the yellow here, but I do want to cover up some because
Yeah, it is a little much.
it's a little much. It needs to be peeking through, not, you know, screaming at you. It needs to use its indoor...
Not a full-on solar flare.
It needs to use its indoor voice.
Even though it's outdoors in the woods.
Yes. We're working on Izzy's indoor voice.
Just...
I think that we're probably in for some teacher.
Yeah. I was asking Pete, you know, it's like, I don't ever remember being a loud kid.
She really wasn't.
So this whole loudness thing is kind of, it's a lot for me.
Okay, now see, we've still got a little peeking through there. I don't know that I need quite that much, but I'll just take a little piece that's kind of peachy to begin with and cover it up so that it shows through just ever. Look at that. Now, isn't that wonderful? Yeah. Pretty wonderful stuff. And I need to go back over those, see if I'm having any lifting, beat them down. Okay, I think this is looking quite nice. Perhaps a bit much red showing through right there.
Well, here's a thought on that.
What?
Okay, so you know how you have a lot of your orange stuff kind of coming up into the yellow area over there on the top part of the head?
Oh, over here? Where?
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
here.
all that orange business. I think
All
you
this.
need,
You think I need to address that?
well, either or bring some of it down into the area you were just working on.
Well, that's going away.
Oh, okay.
That is going away. Not totally going away, but
It'll just be peeking through.
it'll be peeking through. And I'm glad. See, you just kind of need to turn it. You could see that. I was not seeing that. Now, can you still see it? Oh, no, I don't know if I love this red showing, but I don't have to make that decision right now. Don't make decisions since you don't have to.
Hey, Devin.
You know, don't just do something to be doing something. Have a reason to do it.
Hey, for those of you in the YouTube collab, how are you guys doing? That's happening this Saturday. Links are due tomorrow.
Okay.
I got mine done. Like,
She can be all, you know.
last month.
Yeah.
So I can now start, hounding others. I don't feel like I could start, hounding people until I have
sanctimony.
You're
That's
right.
better. Okay, now that is a little bit much, but I think if I tear it up and do little odd strips here over this gray, which, it kind of screams at you that it's like, whoa, where did you come from?
Well, now are we going to feel like that with the turquoise? It'll blend in.
It will.
Maybe. Now, is that some of the wet, or is that dry?
Well, it's semi.
Mm.
But not to worry, because we can always whip another piece of something or other.
Oh. I tell you, Anne always, Anne always has some interesting information. I love it. She said that she had a friend that always spoke quietly, and they had a child, and the child was always loud. Mom mentioned it to the pediatrician. It turned out that the child's ear canal was clogged. Thank you. Izzy's ear canals are clogged.
Well, it'd certainly be a lovely solution. I mean, if it were true.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I
And
think
let me
it's,
tell you, trying to have people looking in her ears and stuff.
okay.
It was
now,
traumatizing for all of us. Let's just say.
we've got this going this way, and we need to get some stuff going horizontally here.
Do you?
Yeah. So you just wrinkle up your paper a bit, and then take your brush and kind of work it back in.
Interrupt the line?
Interrupt the line. And if you do it from both ways, I mean, it's actually kind of nice. You can do the same with my turquoise, maybe. Well, I'll tell you what, that really got sucked down on the...
Well, I hope everything's going well with y'all's renovations. Carla and Devin are having renovations.
Oh.
I wish we could have some renovations. I got ideas.
She do.
Just need funding.
Major funding.
Major funding. Might be easier to move.
Oh, you say that.
I know.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, now, I think that's starting to look
Well,
much...
and you need to stop messing with it, because right now it looks kind of murky, or mucky, or...
Well, it does because it's drying.
Yeah.
But I'm getting back my shapes of my little stony things
Yeah.
there. Okay, that's lovely. Just keep, working up.
going.
All right, now let's look at this here. Look at this. Isn't this starting to look just fabulous? I don't know. The red might be a little bit strong.
Bye, Lisa. Take care.
I don't think that I'm going to worry about that right at this moment. But I am going to do a little
Patchy there.
patchy there and kind of leave the edges showing through, but not so much the middle part. The edge of this brush looks like
It's getting kind of gooed up.
it looks like that thing you've got out there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Come back over here and look and see what's going on here. I like that. I like that, and I love this color that's going right there, because I think I got that someplace else, like over here. Isn't that? All
So
right.
the other day I was talking to her and she's kind of ignoring me. And I said, hey, what are you doing? She said, well, I'm working on the head. I didn't want to tell you.
Because
I
she's
told her not to.
she's downstairs and I'm upstairs. And oh, good, I got the floaty out of my stuff. Okay, a little bit of here. Can you see that? There we go, smash and twirl. Gaia's nose again. She
Right
doesn't
here,
want-
this one's almost, look, see, like we said, it dries very quickly.
Oh yeah,
Oh, sorry, tapping the mic.
yeah, it's slightly damp. But that is some good stuff, Mariah. Thank
Thank
you.
you. You're
That
welcome.
that is like muy bueno. I'm trying to get her to
Set up right.
set up here like I want her to set up without, she just keeps falling over. And is that where I wanted her? No, I want her right there. Oh, I see the problem. Well, maybe that'll work. Yeah.
I'm gonna mix up some of these terracottas and then we'll have some open jars perhaps. Hey.
You need to put something back in there and shake that a little better.
I
It's
know,
got a
I
lot of
see it.
good stuff in the bottom there.
Well, I wish some
Honey.
balls would go over to this other one. Be nice.
I'm hoping we're going to get some more of that really lovely greeny, yellowy greeny stuff here. And I'm just kind of moving it up towards the top.
Are you guys entertained by this? I feel like it could.
More talky.
Yeah.
Well, you have to talk. I can't talk.
Yeah, I'm doing spray
Work at this
mixing
thing.
here.
Same time. And if I get too much of a line that seems to be a little bit strong, I can come in and cover it up with something else. I'm not liking that. Maybe need a bit of a dark piece. Don't throw any of your little pieces away until you're absolutely like totally
sure.
done.
For sure done. Because it'll be the one piece that you need.
It will be,
You're
and
gonna
you
be
will
digging in the
lament the
trash.
fact that you threw it away.
You're gonna be digging
You
through
will
the
go
trash.
dig through the bin.
We know this. We've
Yes.
done it.
Okay, I'm liking that. Just still think that might be a little high chroma, but I think I'm going to deal that with colored
Yeah,
pencils.
some of your red there is a little kind of stabby, murdery.
Yeah, maybe a little stabby murdery over here. I don't know though. I mean, you know, the areas where, you know, it is coming through, you got some of those and some of those, and just come over here and get some more of my little tubery.
Tuberies.
I hope I've got enough of the tubery dudes. Because I found some, but they were cutesy. You know, they looked like one looked like a cat, and one looked like a, I don't know, something.
A cat?
Yeah,
Hmm.
looked like a cat.
The tube did?
Yep.
That's
Oh,
interesting.
see if I think it's under the board.
I'm bound and determined to get this paint out of the bottom of this tube. Or this
I
thing.
like your dedication.
I'm beginning to understand
not
how,
sure
how
it's-
the
I'm not
terracotta
sure.
became a thing.
Sure, it's justified, but
No.
you know, I say if it makes you feel good, you ought to do it.
And then I don't know how this one bottle got so crunched, but it's a good bottle and it has one of the better sprayers that goes with it. But
Oh, I found some more sprayers in my closet. And I know. It's from some of the essential oil stuff that I bought.
oh, well, that might get interesting.
Well,
Guess
come
we
back here.
You without a name.
You.
Hey, maybe you should call her Jane Doe, but like, you know, Doe a deer.
Well,
That's funny.
yeah. This is just the nitpicky farting around stuff that, you know, people do. The reason I laid down those little pieces there was because I don't want to have to come back in and, I probably will anyway, oh well. I want to have a little bit of connection to this one and this one.
Yeah, I like that.
Because they're talking to each other. They're visiting.
Reaching out to one another.
Yes. Because we want our parts to visit. The other thing I tried not to do, and I noticed in a couple spots I have, I tried not to end up on an edge. There's two reasons. Well, it's a bad design, but it's also practicality-wise, that's where it's going to do this. Spring back out at you.
And they do.
And it will. It do.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, Brenda.
What?
The song from The Sound of Music. A doe, a deer,
a female deer, a drop of golden sun, me a name I call myself, some a long, long way to run.
So with a needle and thread, something like
that.
That's good fun. Good stuff. Okay.
We don't charge extra for the music.
Poor Diane had to go buy socks. She's freezing. You know, it's winter time there.
Oh. I had a lot. I'll tell you what. I don't know if you know about these socks or not, but they're wool. What are those wonderful?
Smart socks.
Smart wool.
They're smart.
Smart wool
they
socks.
They are fantastic.
I mean, I have some pairs that I've had for 15 years. And I even went ahead and darned up a hole in one. As I was wearing these old shoes of mine that rubbed on the heel. And I was irked. Because the other sock was, showing nothing wrong with it.
You wear socks.
I do.
Like, it's very interesting the ability that you have to wear down socks. Like, she doesn't, it's not like she's walking miles and miles.
Well, I used to.
Well, that's true. Maybe that's when
that happened. All right, I just take these little pieces and make them come apart, because if you try to do, sometimes I do a pretty good size strip. But this area here where I'm going in a bend, it's probably a better idea not to be so lengthy. I'm just thinking out loud, as I am so prone to do.
This one needs soaking. This here sprayer bottle isn't no spray.
And I've noticed my Mod Podge is starting to have these long, stringy pieces. Which,
and she said socks are not usually part of her wardrobe here in Queensland. Oh, and it's, I mean, I'm so terrible about like 9 degrees Celsius. What is that? I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. But
Yeah.
Debbie's cold as well.
we're ready for some cold. I'll tell you what. Yesterday was 106.
Was it?
Yeah. Today it was supposed to be even hotter.
Oh, I thought today was supposed to be like 106, and like it was 104 yesterday.
Well, once it passed 100, it's kind of a moot point.
And let me tell you, it wasn't
hot.
even pleasant going to the pool, because the pool water's hot. That's the sad situation of it all there. The baby was like, this is so hot. There you go.
And occasionally come back and revisit the areas that you were sure that you had. Make sure that they were well adhered to what. And I'm losing your. Is it
You
still?
know, you're good, I think. I mean, I haven't been, and nobody said anything.
Well, they're all probably doing something else.
Brad says,
Smoking
can you
and
tell the
drinking on the
difference between
patio.
104 and 106? It's just hot.
Well, that may be a little bit squared off for my purposes here, but
Fiona says, beware, Diane. Socks have their own subculture. They wander off and hide, generally like being single.
that they
That
do.
was funny. I like that.
That they do. And as soon as you throw away the one that you thought its friend had
The other
wandered
one
off,
popped
you'll
up.
find the other
And
one.
then I sometimes feel thoroughly convinced that, like, I keep, like, that I have found the two, but I can't get them in the same area of the house. Because it's like, oh, okay, this one's got to be the other one, because I swear that that one is in the laundry room.
Or you can just be like Izzy. She doesn't care.
And I stopped caring as well.
Yeah. 2 socks that match. Are you kidding me? Because once they get
And everybody,
washed in different loads,
yeah, it's,
they're never quite. Yeah. They're not mates anymore.
yeah.
I've lost the. Now the tissue paper still wants to tear straight, even though I have the stuff on here. And what I'm doing right now is, can you see my rocks coming in there? I want my rocks to hook up. This is why.
With
Okay,
your wiry bits.
I
right?
want them to hook up with this part over here.
Oh, wait.
So
should I-
I've got to kind of make sure I'm headed the right direction. Okay, I need to come this way.
And should I back out? Are you guys happy with this Zoom? Is everybody happy? We're good?
Well, I just, you know, I told Mariah, I said, I can't write down too many thoughts today because, number one, I can't see them. So we're just going to have to do something that where we have a little larger.
Well, and then I reminded her that it's Tuesday and she didn't really have to have any thoughts.
Yeah. And I think that that's nice because these two are close enough in color and value that it's not going to be a stark change, and I can still come in though with my more turquoise color and kind of integrate that.
Tuesday, no thoughts required. That was good. I like that, Devin. You know, we don't want to just be handing out thoughts all the time.
Yeah, because
People
then
expect that.
then there would be no novelty to it.
Yeah. That's funny. Oh yeah, definitely. Wear the mismatched.
Well, I got Izzy some socks, and I actually have a pair where they're intentionally so.
Yeah. She didn't like them because they're too bulky. She's not much of a sock wearer. She's not much of a clothes wearing kind of kid.
I was going to say, it just goes over into the area of her clothing also. The only way you can get
Although, when she does wear clothes, she's got flair.
see her outfit today.
She gets real proud of it too. Like,
She had on a yellow shirt, a black skirt with pink hearts.
well, yeah, this is like I love you and stuff, and pink and red hearts, and writing I love you in white on a black skirt.
And then these palsy wowsy
Butterfly tights
butterfly tights.
with a pink headband. Yeah.
And I can't remember what shoes she wore. In fact, I don't think I noticed her shoe wear.
Are we only working on the head today?
Well, I don't know what else you want me to do.
I don't know. You guys want to do anything else? Thoughts? Have questions?
Okay, now, a little FYI, if you want to save yourself a little bit of hassle here, you can go ahead and put down something that is sort of similar to the paper that is already there. Look how well that blended in. Because then when I come along later with more of my see, that's lifting up there. With my whatever it was that I was going to do there, there it is.
Oh, very nice.
Helps if you got stuff underneath it too.
Yes. Yeah, that is definitely a good technique. It helps with, especially if you are doing pieces that you want smooth, to put down that layer of whatever your adhesive, Mod Podge, PVA, matte medium, and then put your piece down, then kind of coat it on there.
Kind of breaking up my edge there and trying to define my little stony shapes a little bit better. This is really hard for me to see. I don't know if I'm...
Hey, and do you need to do your eyeball?
Yes, it's feeling scratchy. I just have been ignoring it.
Okay, yeah.
Can you talk about something while I'm...
I definitely can. It's 79 degrees in Florida. Feels like 86.
What?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, they have a thunderstorm coming in. Yes. We need some rain. It did rain the other day, which was very nice. But I mean, not enough, certainly, to keep up with this heat. That is for sure. What shall we talk about? Oh, collab. We did the collab talk, but the $100 giveaway. So if you guys haven't had a chance and you want to know more about that, you must be over there in Makers, and I will either send you the information or one of our lovely moderators or admins in the group. That would be Mo and Ann. They will be able to get you over to the right information. But that is if you post a link along with, you know, to one of our videos, talk about what was inspired, or if you have created something, then you get 2 entries. But that's kind of the gist of it. But then we will do a drawing on, this next drawing is Sunday the 24th. Yeah, so this Sunday we'll give you money. Well, it's one lucky person gets money. I'm just impressed that you're doing this one-eyed.
Oh, it is a bit of a chore. Okay, that's got to have been 60 seconds, right?
I don't know. Maybe. Hey, we have quite a few people that have entered. I mean, a good 10, I think, at this point. I feel that is successful. So the odds of winning are actually pretty good, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gee, yes.
I know, and Diana's been so sweet. She's been showing us her progress of what. So she bought a set of stencils, the butterflies from us, but then she used the other money, part of the money, for like a little paint caddy kind of thing. She got one of the twirly things, so she's been giving us progress reports on her organizing of her space, which is very nice.
Yes. That's always a good thing. We had to do a bit of
Yes.
rearranging because of the,
Other paints.
yeah.
I don't think I'm going to get you any new paints.
I don't think I need any more colors. I just need it if I run out.
Yeah. But what it's kind of a bummer is that, like, I try to place an order where we're going to get
dear.
free shipping. But maybe we should figure out something else that we can
See, that just lifted up because I didn't have enough
under it.
under it. And now we have kind of a straight edge there, and y'all know how I feel about that. There we go. Right next to that little peeky through blue. Like that.
And I will give you guys this little hint. We do have some other exciting things coming up. I can't talk about it quite yet. But there are exciting things happening.
Really? Do
Yes.
I know about them?
No.
They don't tell me things because I
Because you can't keep a secret for nothing.
the only one worse than me is Izzy.
Yes.
I can get her to spill the beans about anything. Seriously.
Oh yeah. Oh, and you can even just like she almost is like, you can tell it. She just can't contain it.
Yeah, she's just antsy about it. It's just so cute.
I told her, stay that way.
Okay, so we're just kind of working ourselves up the head and into the areas where we've kind of I wanted the I wanted the rock to sort of just go everywhere, and then I decided, well, I also want the what do we call these, the wires, to also go everywhere. And I think I've done a pretty good job of integrating and making them kind of seem like a natural flow. That's my
I'm also finding it slightly
goal.
amusing that you had made so many painty paper, or so many gel printed papers.
and I'm not using any of them.
Now, in the ones that you did use, you're covering up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, Selva Ventana, she's covered in them.
She is. And look how swell and elegant
Yeah.
she turned out.
So see, sometimes the initial thought, or where you want to go with something, doesn't
Well,
quite.
I kind of just thought, it's a whole lot easier for me to do this with the paint than it is the process of doing the paper. Gluing paper down,
I don't know what you're talking about. What?
as opposed to painting rather than having, going over it with all the paper. The first coat.
The first coat.
And like making my first coat
Oh.
and then covering that up.
Yes. I love it, Mo. Thank you. She put some information there about the July giveaway, and then Mo has also posted in the chat the link to the wires. They have been very surprisingly versatile and interesting.
I'm telling you, I love them. I knew I would the minute I saw them. And the negative stuff, the little tubers, I mean, those are so dang cute. And they are just really, I can just see so many different applications
Here,
for
I'm
those.
going to try to move the camera versus you having to... Oh no, I'm at the edge. You got to either scoot her in or... There we go. Perfect. You're perfect.
Perfect?
Perfect.
All right. Well, thank you for telling me that, because I certainly wouldn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, there are certain things I can do with the camera, but it's panned all the way to the one end there. Diane is very impressed with how neatly you were doing this. When she decoupages, she gets glue all over her fingers and pieces of paper stuck to them. I can remember that.
I will. Yeah, that happens to me too.
The brush, having the kind of gooky yuck brush, very helpful.
Yeah.
In
It
that.
really is. And this is a horrible brush. I mean, at one time it was kind of a nice brush.
What time is eye drop time? Well, she just did it about...
Every 30 minutes.
Yeah, oh yes, every 30 minutes. Most aspects.
And I mean, I didn't wake up in the middle of the night and put it in every 30 minutes.
Well, I think-
Now, come on.
Well, your
folks.
eyeball's closed.
That's true.
I think that's kind of...
And I didn't ask him if I could use my, I used it in my other castor oil.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure that they just, when they wrote down, you know, what drugs do you take, and I just listed all of my herbs and everything, and I saw that.
Did you see? Did they
See her
give you a
raising
look?
her eyes a little bit, like, oh God, one of those. I don't care anymore. Now, the bad thing with tissue paper is when the air conditioner comes on, they start migrating and flying about the cabin and whatnot.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. That one was. I was really hoping you were going for that one next.
What? That little spot?
Little spot of red, yeah. And you guys can kind of tell down, like down below there, where it's starting to dry and it deepens in color.
But even when I cover it, even that little tiny little bit there that's showing through, I think that's cool.
All right, they're saying it's time for you to lube your eyeball again.
Oh.
I think.
Yeah, it is. When I blink, I can tell.
Oh goodness, it's 91 degrees in Boston, despite their sea breeze.
Oh, that's a hot baby.
Oh. It's almost like we just, you know, when hot air, that happens in Texas a lot. When it's windy, it's hot air. It almost feels hotter. More hot? Hotter?
Hotter.
Hotter.
Hotter, hot, hottest. Okay, now.
Brenda says don't sneeze. Then yeah, all the little pieces.
Oh, seriously.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Turn and
I
sneeze.
Dab my eyeball.
Does the Mod Podge work better than matte medium for gluing?
I don't know. I've used both. I just use it because I have it.
I think it's
And it's something that I've just always kind of
very
used.
similar. Oh goodness, Kitty snuck up on me. I will say this, that the matte medium supposedly dries better and less sticky.
Now see, here. See, doesn't that look like a little maybe
It
spider
does.
kitty?
Did you draw eyeballs and a nose on it?
No, that just happened there.
No.
And here is a very voluptuous devil girl with a cat tail.
Okay. Hi.
And, you know, I don't know. I just want to be careful that it doesn't become something cutesy. And then this looks like the back side of a...
It's kind of like, you know, cloud watching.
Yeah. It is.
Come on, Kitty.
Kitty.
Yeah.
Do a sweet kitty. Izzy's been building, I wish you could see it. I should take a picture of it. She builds little environments for the kitty in Van's bedroom. And she has it all set up there that, you know, she has her little glow stick that she got at the, where'd she get that, Mariah?
Oh, that was at the 4th of July thing.
And she's got that in there, which, you know, I'm sure the cat just loves the shit out of that.
Sugar.
And she's put some stuffed animals in there for him. She's made some little kitty toys out of string and paper, and
I'm not sure if it's like
it's like a
captive kind of.
Going in that room is it could be hazardous to your health.
Yeah.
Because they're just little things, and you never know. You careful where you step, because there might be something underneath it.
Oh goodness, yeah. 8 degrees Celsius is 40 degrees Fahrenheit. That's cold.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Where is
that's
this?
That's not like Alaska cold, but you know, it's cold.
Yeah. I'm going for this one because it's got some kind of weird feelery things here.
Oh. So Fran's saying that, hey, E, you've got me under your hand.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
More information, Fran.
Yes. We've missed the joke, maybe.
I can't really decide whether I want this.
Oh, Johnny says her favorite glue is the Tracy Batistas
I don't know that.
Collage and Podge. Is that all spelled right, Joni? Or is that some predictive text business there? Felt a little funny saying it, but could be right.
Want some of this kind of moldy greeny. Oh, Fran, this is your color.
Oh, Brenda has a catio for her 2 cats. They have a building with an elaborate catation for our 2 cats.
Kitty.
Izzy would love that.
We just have to worry about Izzy going in there and,
Yeah, wanting to stay and sleep and build other little environments.
Environments. She's big on the environments. Oh, of course, I tore that off too. So that's all right. We can make that work.
She's no typo. Okay, collage Podge.
Collage Podge. Am I still in frame?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it depends on where you're working. No, you were not. You're about to head off.
Now.
Perfect. Oh, yes. Keep me from posting on the makers because... Yeah, exactly. As Violet says, yeah, just, start with listing the products that you used. Don't stress about it. It's not that, big of a deal. Just, tell us what you want us to know about it. Cat hurting.
I'm hoping those are going to show up a little bit more once they're kind of dry.
All right, Diane. She says she actually has to go do her hair and pretend to be excited about going to work.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I love being retired. And that's not, when I was teaching, I loved teaching. But I really do like just being able to do whatever I feel like doing or
She
not
doesn't
feeling.
get to do what she wants to do all the time.
Not feel like doing. Look at that little piece that I just added on there. Wasn't that done with absolute finesse?
Yes, or sharing your mood when you made it. We like to hear about that.
Now you see why I made extra of this stuff? It's so, because once I'm at this stage right here, if I had to stop and do it, I could do it.
And it doesn't match up.
I could do it, but it would be a labor and it would make me angry. And I'd probably just start, blowing off some stuff that I really... Okay, now I don't want to cover up my little tentacles there.
All right, moving back into the rocks.
Well, I'm trying. I
There we
can
go.
only go.
I know.
We might have to start working on another.
Well, we could.
I could move down to this and turn her. And see, I'm starting to see some things here that I don't really like after it's dried.
No worries, Devin. We got about 15 minutes, so,
But you can just plug those holes with the tiniest little sliver of stuff.
I'm very curious how this side piece is going to dry.
What
and
side?
how much of that red is going to still be poking through.
You're
You're going to have a lot of touch-up to do, I think, there.
Here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Possibly. But I like this. I'm just not sure that I really do like that little, oh, that was a straight across piece. That was not a good choice.
There's just some tiny, tiny little pieces you're working
Now I
with.
lost that one. It floated away. There it is. I found it over there.
Oh.
There we go. Now look at that.
Don't poke at it anymore.
Don't poke at it anymore.
Oh, Mo says she's super impressed with P's eye. Really did expect an eye patch situation. And it doesn't even seem like her eye is tired.
It's not. It just starts feeling grainy when I close it. That's why I say I'm pretty sure it's time to.
Yeah.
I know. And it's kind of catching on my eyelid. But it was so. I mean, it took 5 minutes maybe to do the actual procedure. It was amazing. I mean, I sat there for ages, waiting for them to, I don't know, do whatever it is that they do when they're not on time.
Yeah.
Trying to scoot that little booger over just a hair, because I like that little tiny,
It's a little smidgy smidge.
teeny little thing there. But I don't like that great big gash of, whatever it is.
Gash is typically not good.
Gashes are not good. No gashy. Okay, I just really,
Yeah, you're at your
I'm
end of
at
where
a
you can
place
put her.
where I can't scoot her over anymore because she's running into the brayer and the paint.
Well, you could flip her around,
I could, but if I lay that down, it glues to the beans.
Well, no, I meant like rotate.
Oh yeah,
It's
change
an
her?
option. Yeah.
Well, I don't know that that's going to make that much difference.
Well, camera-wise, it will. I don't know
I
about
got-
your situation. What's going on over there?
But she's going to be laying on her stuff.
There you go.
Now, where is the wet part?
Oh,
I don't-
goodness.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay.
One moment, please.
Repositioning.
Is that good?
Well, it's good. I don't know that she's going to maintain.
Where are you heading?
Well, I'm headed over here.
Okay, yeah, I think then that's pretty good.
That this area right here is perfect. And I love this time of day. This is like the best time of day ever
Yeah, with the light up here.
to do anything.
See your
Here.
poor nose, though? She kind of lost her.
Well, I don't know if I want you there, but that might be a good choice. But I don't want to cover up the one right underneath it, so I need a little patch of just stuff here.
She's sleeping at Pappy's pantry.
She's what?
She's sleeping at Pappy's pantry. It's the bean name. It's the
Oh.
brand of the beans.
See, I didn't want to put that little tuber right on top of.
Well, remember, we're not exact. I mean, we can see a little bit of what you're doing there, but
Oh, well,
I mean, yeah, unless you have her standing on her head, I don't think that's gonna.
maybe I can get her to.
There.
If I bring the beans around to
This is how I feel like when I'm trying to figure out how to sleep with Izzy in the bed.
Well, that's how I felt last night because I went to bed with my patch on.
Yeah.
And I didn't, you know, I turned and then all of a sudden I was going, God dang, there's something really hurt my head there. That
Why
bugger
does my brain hurt?
was digging into my head. I was thinking this morning because when I got up, there's still a little mark there. I was like, oh, I'm marked for life.
I said, "What? We're gonna have to fix something a little more smushy around the eye patch."
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to come in with a little bit of gauze or something. Now, see, here I am trying to beat this tuber into place on a
Yeah.
on a curved surface where I haven't put stuff
Yeah,
in the right
this
place.
part is tricky to work with because you've got kind of the curve of the jawline plus then the neck.
And then it, you know, heads on up.
Heads on up. Yeah, I do the same thing too, Brenda. Brenda's a flipper.
Oh, I am too. I'm a flipper and a flopper. I need something with a little bit more. Now, all those papers that Mariah made for me today, I'm saving those when I'm done. Because
Come over
then
top.
I'm going to come back over and reevaluate everything. Every little thing.
Yeah,
on
because I
here.
think using them at this moment in time would probably not be a good use.
No, because I'd probably just end up covering them up with something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that for sure. I don't know that I like that, but I don't know really what I need there.
Yes. Oh, Izzy's a big, yeah, she likes the cool pillows. That's how Izzy is. I just have to have it fluffed just right. Yes, the reevaluation is when everything has dried because it's going to change. As it even activates, especially the spray stuff. Some of the paint might even be slightly, not a lot, because you know the base coat of paint that she did with the blue, red, and yellow, those were acrylic paint, so that's probably not reactivating much, but the sprays do. And then as she Mod Podges them down and then lays them over something else, then that's kind of what's happening at this moment in time. Plus, just how they dry tends to, the colors deepen. Yes, I have seen those square pillows. I'm very interested in that.
What is it?
Square pillows.
What about them?
Well, it's a new thing. Like they say that it's a good thing because it like fits your head and how
Well, I just beat my pillow into.
much like how she does her collaging. She just beats it into submission.
I punch it. It clears up two
She's
things.
so well adjusted because everything around her is getting
Malleable.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness, Diane's sharing a single bed with a 70-pound pit bull. Yeah, we used to have that problem with Mazzy, but she didn't sleep on the bed anymore. Once we had Izzy.
Well, she bless her
And now
heart.
she can't jump up in a bed.
She's having.
She's getting old.
Yeah, she slept on my bed for a while, but now I just made a really nice little what do you call it?
Palette.
Foamy bed palette.
Yeah.
And I moved it away from the air conditioning. But she does not like that. And I have these little jobbers climbing up her neck.
I like that idea. I would like that same, chin.
Chin job?
Yeah, chin
You
job.
want me to Mod Podge some tubers on your neck?
Well, I don't know that that'll fix the real situation.
All right. look, can you still see? It's probably right there in the... How's that?
Oh, awesome. Hey, Maxine. She got her second pack today. Awesome.
What?
Diane says, he's 12 now. It's okay till the snoring and the farting starts. Not me.
I know Mazzy, she snores sometimes too.
Oh, yeah. Barbara would also like
she's
a
she's a silent farter though. Those are the kind that sneak up on you. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, what is that?
Well, that's
Died.
your doing because you feed her things that she's not supposed to be fed.
Yeah, corn dogs are one of the things that you probably should. Don't ever feed your dog lamb either. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yes, Anne says, team non-YouTubers, don't forget to post your collab pieces.
Well, this is mine right here. I'm posting it. This is it.
I'll get some pictures that we can properly post. Patterns at play. Yeah, you can't get any more patterny than this. Patterny. Oh, Marcia, did you notice that did you notice piece necklace she's wearing? Marcia gave me that necklace.
I think it went really splendidly with my
I do, I like it.
my ensemble today.
Oh, never feed the cat bologna.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think people should be eating bologna either. I can't stand it.
I really
Ugh.
like it though.
She
I
she
really
likes Braunschweiger too.
Oh, I love it.
I can't get past the smell.
It's kind of bad both ways. Just saying. Well, that looks kind. I think that looks kind of interesting. Don't you think that looks kind of interesting?
Oh goodness.
I'm thinking about using this little kitty right here under the chin. That'll tickle Izzy.
Oh, so that bit you were sticking is what Fran is saying here with her stick. Her, not here. Did you get that, P?
What is it? No, I didn't really understand it. I mean, I knew you were talking, but I wasn't paying attention.
Okay. The bit that you were sticking is what Fran says is her with her stick. Oh, she didn't cover it up? No, I think the part where you're at, there's a little part where Fran said it looks like her with a stick, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and I kind of see a bunny now. Maybe like the jackalope, you know, where it's like they put the horns on the...
Rabbits.
Mm-hmm.
So weird.
Brenda loves she loves bologna and all lunch meats.
I do too. I really like pastrami a lot.
Oh, she was next to the cat. Did she cover you up? Aw. See, I hadn't really seen.
I covered you up?
I think so.
Well, shucky darns.
Hutha would like you to show all the head photo. Do you want? Oh, you want a picture of like all the heads together? I've thought about like doing that. That might be kind of fun. If we can get them all in the bedroom in there, across the headboard deal, that might be kind of fun. I'll do a little reel.
Now see that thing right there?
Yeah.
That's one of those things that crops up from your Mod Podge that's, you know, past its due date.
It's starting to smell a little funky and it's getting stringy.
Yeah. Getting hanger-oners.
Getting those hanger-oners. Hey, well, we are here at the end of the stream. So let's do our little indie bit. She's going to continue on with this. It may be done by, I don't know. You're going to finish it today? Well, no, it's not going to be done.
No. And you know what I will do is I will save the a portion of using these papers
To do the touch-up work.
to do the touch-up work and make it, you know, into whatever it is that I have.
I like that idea, and that's funny. She says take photos of them all, like a family photo. You could have seasonal ones, add Easter baskets and Christmas trees. And I like that. That'd be pretty funny.
We could.
And get them some Easter hats. Things like that. That'd be funny. We could start just bringing them all to the holiday dinners, putting them on the table as the
decorative piece for the.
That'd be fun. Anyway, so, alright guys, thank you so much once again for hanging out with us. If you are coming in here, this is the end of the stream, but no worries about that. You may watch the replay. We always leave them up. Please do like, subscribe, and do all that YouTubey business. Give this stream a thumbs up if you haven't already. We very much appreciate it, and it is the #1 freest way to support us, and we very much like that. If you do want to have any other ways to support us and think, oh, and I really love your stencils too, then you need to go check out the Arty Perks. One of our lovely mods, or Brad, will be dropping that link in to go check that out. You can get anywhere from 15 to 20% off of the stencils that we have in our shop. If you are not a member of the Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists Facebook group, that's where all of us, and I mean us, all these lovely people, or a majority of them, are found on Makers, and they post their beautiful makes and participate in the collab and all the other things that we do here at PM Artist Studio. Alright guys, that is pretty much it. We shall see you on Thursday, and I think we'll have some additional thoughts on Thursday. So,
Yes.
bye!
Bye.